Adding resources into the Primavera Basics. Once a Primavera Basics project program is fully developed, adding activities and activity relationships under in WBS, we can proceed to add resources into the program. Before adding resources to the program, we have to create resources in resource sheet. The types of resources are labor, material, and non-labor. In non-labor category, the resources could be equipments and machineries. Planning the resource requirement for a project. Considering the developed project is a single-story building project, the usual resources required are concrete, wall units, laborers, engineer, and supervisor. Understanding the components of resource loading, the maximum units allows the maximum units for a project. Like engineering staff is only one engineer is employed throughout the project. The budgeted units are the units required per day or per hour or per month basis. Activity duration. Activity time taken to finish the task is activity durations. When budgeted unit into activity duration is calculated, the required number of total budgeted units is derived. Actual units are the actual consumed units for the program. These are the general components of resource loading. We'll take one example of constructing 1 meter square of RC wall. To construct 1 meter square of RC wall, you will be needing 110 numbers of bricks. One team consisting of 2 helpers and 1 mason can construct 10 meter square per day. That is 3 workers or 3 laborers per day. To construct 50 meter square of RC wall, 50 meter square divided by 10 meter square, the productivity rate gives us 5 days per one team. This is how we calculate the required number of units for a project. Let's get into the practical application of resources into the program. We have developed a program in P6, and this WBS consisting of pre-construction approval, design and plan preparation, construction approval, substructure works, superstructure works, architectural and finishing works of a two-story villa project. Right click on it, click expand all. Now we have to assign resources to these activities. Before we assign resources, as mentioned, we need to add resources into the resource sheet. In the enterprises, at the menu bar, click resources. These are the resources which are pre-existing in the resource sheet. We have to create a project resources. To add resources, click add button. The resource ID should be two-story. Project resources. Non-labor. Next, finish. So all the created resources will be added into this section, and some of the required resources is like materials, labors and non-labor resources will be added under this project resources of two-story. Before adding resources into this, let us check the calendar what we have assigned into these resources. Select the calendar. It has to be same as activities. In activities, 7-day week with public holidays, we have to assign the same calendar to the resources. Select resources, go to details. In the profile section, click on the calendar, 7-day work week with public holidays. The calendar has been added. So We shall continue to add the resources. We need a design team. It's a labor resources. Select labor. Price per unit is $30. Change hour into day. $30 per day. Click finish. Keep on adding the resources. 2s ID, 2s1, earthwork team. Click next. It's a labor. Earthwork team is $35 per day. Click finish. You must be careful while entering resources. You have to always indent it to the order wise. So keep on adding all the resources. Sequence. We are adding material resources. Substructure, steel. Material. Select unit of measure. It's a tons. Double click on it. Either double click on it or click on the select button. Next, price per ton is 2000 per ton. Click next. Click finish. Keep on adding all the material resources. We have added labor resources, material resources and non-labor resources.